Well, forgot to add myself to the stream, but we here. We live in effect. We live in effect. Hey, if y'all didn't know, now y'all know it's TK the Poet. You already know it, so you ain't gotta. Yeah. Y'all know the risk if y'all know it. If y'all been staying tuned like y'all supposed to been staying tuned, y'all know what we here for. It's Sunday. It's time for the poetry talk. We have a couple conversations that we have to talk. I know y'all read the I know y'all read the headlines, women don't listen. They just don't. But we might talk about a little bit more than that. We're waiting for, the people to come in and join ahead and join in. Uh I had a wonderful week this way. My weekend was great. Hold on, let me turn on the side because if it's not the good vibes, you have to cut on the good vibes, man. So shout out to everybody. I want y'all to all go to my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, Black Room Media. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to the channel. That's the only way we can grow it. And y'all support, subscribe to Facebook, uh, Twitter, YouTube, all social media platforms. You can type in Poetry Life, or if you want to follow me personally, TK the Poet. And also, it's me versus me, and y'all already know the risk. I'm my own competition. So we here for the gritty talk, the things that people don't want to speak about, but we gonna speak it out loud. And yesterday that we had our poetry after dark, and if y'all stay tuned to that, that was it was special. We had got some good poetry off. Then we also broke down, our poetry, had a good little poetry talk. So if y'all want to recap that, go ahead. It's on Facebook. Check out all the lives. Twitter. It's on Twitter under the real TK the Poet. Y'all already know the name. And also, like I said, you see that Black Room Media. Check us out. We live in effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring Poet up. He's one of the two-time reigning champion of Poetry Life. He went through the gauntlet twice. If y'all didn't know, y'all have to know. I'm gonna bring up being the human. Look, I'm trying to do with two things, but being the human, we live in effect.
What to do?
Hey, shout out to you, man. What's going on?
Good with you, man.
Hey, man, it's Sunday. You see, trying to see these conversations that we're gonna speak about today. You ready for the conversation?
I'm ready. Let's see who shows up. Talk about it.
Look, hey, I sent out everybody notifications. Hey, and the thing is, it's 7:30. I know what time it is. It's time to get active.
Time to
So,
make it.
you gonna make it active? So, how do you feel about the poetry after dark? That was her first time participating in poetry after dark. How do you feel about that?
Well, we were missing the host, so I mean that was a disappointment. I mean, you did a great fill-in job, but
No, I tried. I tried.
yeah, you did a great job, man. The poets that you brought up were dope, man. Danny McFan, shout out to him. He has some fire poetry. The Dawn always performs her best. You were showing out. You know what I'm saying? It was a fun show. I think, and it was like 2.5 hours almost, something like that.
Look, we was in there kicking it.
Yeah,
Look, what you think about Danny? What you his style?
make it right, man. I like his wordplay. He a wordsmith. I like it.
Hmm.
He got a decent flow. But I mean, I like his metaphors. I like his analogies. So I mean, he has multiple entendres, uh,
Hmm.
and he's got a decent flow with it. So I thought he was dope, man.
Okay. I mean, have you been in tune with like the local poetry or the poetry that's been going on now? Have you watched any poets recently?
I mean, I've stumbled upon some viral videos of some just a poem or something, but I don't think I follow necessarily any specific poet or anything like that. So yeah, I
Man, it
mean,
was this one poet that that I seen a couple years though. Her name was Kai Davis. If y'all look her up, it's Kai Davis Davis. Look her up. You know, she's pretty dope. You know, she had the first poem, I can't remember the name of her poem, but y'all look her up. She's pretty dope. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. And that would really, when I got back into poetry, when I heard her intensity and how she was bringing it, I'm like, okay. So okay, I gotta bring you something like that because the way the crowd were responding and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. But a lot of people think that I got my style from battle rap, though, because I do
Yeah, you,
watch a lot of battle rap.
yeah, you do. You do have a battle rap esque delivery, so I can see that.
So
But
okay, so let's get into that. Why do you feel like I have a battle rap performance or delivery? What makes it like battle rap?
your cadence, where the way you put your inflections on the different words. I mean, it's just a style. It's similar to the way that you put emphasis on your punchlines and different things. I mean, it's just very similar to what I've seen in battle rap. I'm not an expert on battle rap, but when I hear your delivery, it gives me that vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I do watch a lot of battle rap, so I do get a lot of some of that cadence and some of that wordplay, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool and stuff like that. But I watch it to keep my pen sharp because they be coming up some of the crazy analogies and some of the crazy double or triple entendres and stuff like that, and also the schemes and basically that's where I learned how to really scheme from is from battle rap.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I'm not saying anything negative about battle rap. I think battle rap's
no,
poetry in itself. So I mean, I think it's dope. I enjoy it. So
but you know what? My thing is about battle rap. Like a lot of people ask me, like, why you don't get into battle rap? Why don't be a battle rapper? And I'm like, I love my content, And
yeah,
battle rap, you writing for 3 rounds. You writing for 3 rounds, 3 minutes per round, maybe 4 minutes around, and you only get to spit that once. Like you only get to spit that material one time. Yeah, you're getting paid a lot of money for it, but at the same time, you only get to spit that round once.
yeah,
And
yeah.
poetry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it doesn't translate over. I mean, when you write
Mm,
specifically against another person, it's for that person. So
right,
yeah, my thing is, well, I ain't getting into battle rap is I just don't want to diss somebody. I don't want that to be my career. I don't want my
right,
career. Everything I write, I don't want it to be dissing people every time.
right, right.
That's not something I do. So
Yeah, and that's my saying, I look on too. Like, I don't want to just be breaking people down and belittling and calling them B's and H's and being disrespectful. Like when I don't even have an issue with this person, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like so, and we all be watching it like they say it's WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it. You creating the built up tension between someone that you don't even have a problem with.
yeah, but I say I ain't joined the WWF or WWE either because yeah. So I mean, it's A for me. So I mean, shout out to everybody that do it and enjoy it. I enjoy watching it, but it's not something I want to do. So
But you know what, me is if I would give any advice to the battle rappers and stuff like that, have control of your own content. A lot of people now when they talk about battle rap, especially the big platform URL, Smack, shout out to Smack. But they were saying, "Oh, we chef on the app, and our battles don't be shown, and nobody can see. We don't get that great visibility." But you, as an artist, sometimes you have to create their own visibility for yourself.
yeah, but sometimes the platform is important. So in battle rap, I don't know a battle rapper that could necessarily shoulder the financial responsibility on their own. Like I
I
think,
mean, true, but I mean, there's like YouTube. Get your own YouTube channel. Create your own content. Spit some of your stuff from your material for your fans out there. You have to. A lot of people, they weigh on these big leagues to pay them all this money to rap, whatever, instead of making a income for themselves. So a lot of these battle rappers, they living to paycheck for paycheck. They getting this money and they blowing it, but they not no generation wealth with it. They not creating an image for themselves. This is smack image or
Well,
RIP or
yeah,
RI.
like I don't know about that because some of the battle rappers that I did kind of pay attention to, man, they were battle rap was just one of the things they were into. They did
Right.
music, they had other and stuff like that, so it wasn't their sole venture. So yeah, why not take this 100 grand or 50 grand or 20 grand or whatever to do this little battle rap, whatever the case may be. But then yeah, I'm having my other stuff work too.
But you know what I think they should do? And just like I feel like, poetry and stand-up comedy and battle rap is kind of all in the same, area. You know what I'm saying? Like comedians, they go out and they have the same material. They travel from state to state saying the same material. And I'm like, if battle rap can go on a tour with some of these elite battles that they be having, and the thing is, like, even on the recap, like people rewatch battles all the time. And
Yeah, but it's different. I'll watch highlights of boxing matches. I don't want to see the same fight punch for punch every time. You know what I'm
but
saying? I'll watch the highlights again, but I don't want to watch the same fight. But see, that's what you get when you're in the competitive state of battle rap. I mean, comedy is not like that. You don't have the comedians up there necessarily dissing each other. I mean, most of the jokes translate for one. They don't put it out on social media. You got to go to the show to see the jokes.
right.
So the
So
poetry.
we have the Don in the comments and we had exclusive in the comments, but where y'all at? Y'all in the comment section, but where y'all at?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared now, y'all remember TK apologized and said he was tripping last week, and shout out to the women. You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But Sluicer says she still sound like trash. She's still under the weather. So
Tell me exclusive. You said suck it up. That's what you told me.
Yeah, I mean that's
you said thug it out. That's what you told me. You said thug it out. Come on.
Okay. She said I'll get him on camera. Okay. She said she can come up, but she gonna cut her camera off.
That's fine.
Oh, that's cool though. You can cut your camera off. We can still hear you. It's just like a call in, something like that. So we'll still hear you. But what I was saying though, like far as the battle rap goes, like if you was there live in person, it's a whole show. You understand? It's different from when you watching at home, watching on your phone or your computer or your TV screen or anything like that. But when you live in person, it's electrifying. So I feel like if they just go on tour with some of their key battles and put on like different cities and states like that, I think they can make a lot more money doing that.
I mean, it's possible.
Look, you have these rappers, they repeating the same songs for about 30 years.
Yeah, there's music something different, man. You know that. Music.
Yeah, but why is it different though?
It's just something timeless about certain songs. I mean, there's certain songs that still play on the radio that my parents listen to on the radio. There's just certain music that just, I don't know. Music's different. I think it has something to do with our biology, man. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but I mean, all the instrumentation and the singing and the stuff like that, we receive it different.
Okay. But what do you think about, because I had a friend, he's in the industry and stuff like that. I talk to him probably like twice a month, something like that. But he's in the industry and he was telling me that poetry life, they look at poetry life not as entertainment because they feel like there's no entertainment factor to it. So he was telling me, like, man, if you could take over, you can bring some entertainment factor to poetry, and you could take over that genre because ain't nobody really taking poetry over.
I don't know, man. You see it. I don't know what he's doing now, but there was a poet a few years back that he was dropping some stuff. He kind of mixed it up to where he sometimes he was rapping, sometimes it was spoken word, but his name was Yellow Pain.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
he was dope, man. He was in the poetry scene. He was dope. I think Kendrick Lamar is another one that he does a lot of the spoken word to music though, which I think is helping push it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we find the right avenue to have it, right, and then you always have the viral clips of some poet on stage doing a live performance that
Right.
that get 2-3 million views and stuff like that. So
But you know what though? I'm gonna bring up exclusive. Exclusive, are you ready? I know your camera not on, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up. We're gonna bring you to the stage. Exclusive. One of the poetess at Poetry Life. We're gonna bring you to the stage.
Hey guys, thank you so much for holding down after dark. Um I was able to catch like the last part of it while I was kind of in between getting up and not and being like dead in the bed. But shout out to y'all because it went extremely well. I was very proud. Not that I didn't think anybody was capable, but it looked like some fire was going down last night. So
Oh yeah,
uh
definitely.
yeah, it looked like some fire was going down. So I'm excited to see. I don't even know who was the guest. Who was the guy?
Oh, we had Danny up here. Oh, and speak of him. Hold on. Let me go ahead and bring him because he just popped in. Hey,
Oh,
exclusive. If you speak him up, he will come. You
he
know
will.
the slogan.
I'm like Candy Man. Say my name 3 times. That
So I was
is.
literally just giving you a compliment. Thank you so much for showing up and filling in the space for Poetry After Dark. I'm under the weather. So I kind of am just trying to get myself together, but the poetry was fire. I hope that you will come back when I'm actually back up to par as early as next week.
Anytime.
Some of that fire. I would so
And
appreciate.
anytime. And you know what, Queen? I'm not gonna even ask if you're a mother because I've just realized like today I came to the realization all women deserve this. So happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. I am a mother
uh,
of three
uh,
girls and six grandbabies, seven on the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you carried a load.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. I'm glad that yeah. I'm holding it. I'm holding it as well as possible. But yeah, again, my deepest thank you to you guys for holding it down last night along with Miss Dawn. I enjoyed being a viewer yesterday. I
don't
really
get
did enjoy being a viewer. Go ahead and talk your shit. What'd you say, Finn? Don't get comfortable. Is that what you get ready to say?
you
I know. I look. This was beyond my control. You hear how I sound.
Yeah.
I was
said
supposed to record mother today. That was my Mother's Day gift to the three viewers that I have. No, but I was really wanting to record from Mother today and do from Mother today, but not sounding like this. I wouldn't even be able to do it justice. So I'm kind of bummed about that. I probably should have did it days earlier, but I also didn't expect to wake up sounding like somebody's cookout uncle. So yeah, there's that.
bet you a beast on them bones.
Oh, that part. I would prefer not. I just let me fry my ribs in the house.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, I don't mind getting on the grill, but if it's a testosterone around, they can have it. But yeah, thank you. Look at Finn. Finn, I was proud of you when I hopped on. It was 11 o'clock my time, almost midnight, and you were still hanging out.
exclusive. That ain't happening no more. I took me a nap at like 3 o'clock. Yeah, stayed up
Yeah,
late.
but at least one more time because it wasn't with me, and I
I,
wasn't.
I wish I could have been. I'm just not getting off of work.
Oh snap! But yeah, Finn, that doesn't count because I was sick.
So I
Hey,
think
bro,
Dan, I think Dan, I think Danny just brought up the topic to start off with. So
Into
Danny,
it.
Danny said all women deserve a happy Mother's Day wish, even if they're not mothers or good mothers.
Ah,
Let's talk about that, Danny. And shout out to
Okay.
Happy Mother's Day.
Look, look,
Happy Mother's Day
respectfully,
to all the single fathers out there. Hold
yeah.
it down.
respectfully to Danny, I disagree with that though. Because
Wait. Let me tell you why first
okay, go
before
ahead.
you could disagree. Because remember when you said you were the dopest poet in Texas?
Facts.
Okay.
No,
And so last night I said,
hold on. Let me
I
correct.
understand now.
Hold on.
Wait. I'm just
I
let me
said
let me let me
I said the
let me
word.
draw this whole line thought out. I said last night, I understand that you saying that you're great does not take away from my greatness or Pen's greatness or anybody else's greatness. You're saying you're great on your own, right?
Right.
So, with that being said, and I'm not gonna go into it, there are a lot of men that could get all of the accolades and the praises that mothers get, which we don't. We don't. This is a thankless job. However, women on the whole, okay, as a single man, I've met women and talked to women, and I've dated nothing but amazing women. Like the fact that I'm single don't got nothing to do with them. I've met nothing but amazing women. But a lot of women that I've met and been around have made me step my game up just by being around them. Right? I'm sure anybody who's dated women who have been in that situation where you stepped your game up just by proxy. She raised you without having a child. She raised you. And I know it's some women that have been bullshit ass mamas, to the kids that I'm almost done. Bullshit ass mamas to the kids that they have, right? But we all, as people, all do the best that we know with what we given. If a motherfucker ignorant, it's just because they weren't taught in school. It's not because they choose to be ignorant. They want to be smart. They just don't know no better. So from whatever situation or position that you in, you know what I'm saying, you do your greatness. But I just know that women have an effect that men do not have, and not taken away from our greatness, because we are to be bowed to. Right? We are to be bowed to, but women have a greatness that we do not have, regardless if they have children or not.
I'm gonna have to say this. I know the reason you're single. I know why you're single. You're single because you're a grown man talking about women still raising you. That's why you're single. You don't raise no grown man.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this: like as a poet, right? I'm a dope ass poet, right?
You are.
But listening to another poet makes me want to go be greater, and that don't take away from the shit that I already am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already great.
That don't mean that poet raised you. That just means you learn something. You learn something in every situation. That doesn't mean that you're a child being raised. I'm just saying.
Okay, so when I say raised, so like take out the word raised if that's a trigger word for you. Take it to be matured me, made me better, made me more than I already am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give the honor, the honor and the praise. Like you matured me, you made me better, you made me grow.
Okay,
and to be honest, in my definition. In my definition, I'm sorry, I'm gonna step off. I'm gonna mute myself for 5 minutes. But in my definition, a child can raise me. A child can make me a better man.
That's not raising. Learning something is not being raised. But the first thing I want to say, disagreeing or calling out something is not being triggered by it. I don't get triggered by anything. I'm here to have the discussion. I don't have any feelings. I don't have any skin in the game at all. So I'm just having the discussion. So ain't no triggering going on. But no, I would say the word was used wrong. I think you picked the wrong word, because when I think of who raised me, I think of my mother and my grandmother. That's who raised me. That's who taught me the principles at an early age into becoming the man that I am today. Do I still learn from the interactions I have with everyday people? Absolutely. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Then you become stagnant. And that's not any place anybody wants to be. But you use the wrong word.
Agreed. I can agree with that.
Okay, so let's jump in and ask a question really quick. I feel like as a woman, black, white, yellow, purple, green, I feel like any encounter that we have with men, there should be some type of seed or impartation planted in that man, whether we meet for 2 seconds or 2 billion years, or we know each other for 2 billion years. I feel like because we are nurturers, because we are cultivators, because we are women, there's something that is just built in us that wants to nurture. So I get the one angle of the raised. However, I also understand the other part of Finn saying, okay, I can learn, I can pull this from an interaction, so on and so forth. So am I wrong for feeling as though, or I guess I should ask what's your opinion or your feedback on that, because I feel like I'm not doing my part. If I'm around you for any given point in time, as a woman, I'll say for me as a black woman, especially if I'm dealing with a black male, or again, for me, it really doesn't even matter. I'm all types of shades in my family. I feel like I should be imparting or planting some type of seed there. Other than that, my presence in his life is null and void. It serves no purpose. So
And you
that
know what, Queen? That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's my exact point. Like to me, like okay, so Finn didn't like the word raise, and I didn't mean trigger, but I'm just saying like if that's the word that you disagree with, to me, raise means elevate, raise, like the actual word raise to like lift up, and so like I'm lifted up by a lot of people, even people I don't fuck with like that. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, like women have a nurturing, loving, giving nature. But even if they out of their nature, I still learn and get and grow a lot from y'all.
So, but I mean, if we're just talking about synonyms and homonyms, then raise also means to destroy. Raise also means to tear down and destroy. So, I mean, if we're talking about raise, we can also use that. What I said is you use the wrong word because even in the context, it's not what it means. That's what I meant by raise being the wrong word. Yes, you can always learn, but learning is not necessarily being taught by others. It can be you learning through your interactions. It can be your empathy growing. It can be all kinds of different things. And to exclusive, yeah, I think women and men want to imprint positivity into people they interact with. And I think that is a goal that we all strive to have, is we want to be looked at and felt like, yeah, that, when I deal with that individual, I get something out of it. And so I think that's a universal thing.
But see, I have a problem with that. And I just feel like men these days, they looking for a woman to do that. When we're supposed to be the one leading. We supposed to want to be teaching them, uplifting them. They are our help me. But in a lot of situations, we become they help me. They like you said, Finn. Like some of these women are raising these men, and they wonder why their relationship ain't going well because they in the wrong position.
I mean, what's the one complaint you hear the most from women? I ain't looking for no grown child. I don't want to
Right,
raise no grown man. That's the
right.
main fucking complaint. Don't go nowhere, exclusive. Come back.
Don't you run from me, exclusive.
You won't get these words, goddamn it.
But I mean, I mean, to me, honestly, I feel like there's too many men been put in a position where they're being raised by women, and then they wonder why, like, oh, why he's not out there getting a job, or why he's not there doing what he's supposed to be doing as a man. Because look, you put him in a position of a child for you to raise. Now, as a man, for me being an alpha man, I'm coming in like, look, this is what it is. I have a game plan, and this is what we're gonna do. I'm not in a position where I'm letting a woman raise me or telling me, oh, this is what you do. Now I will take some advice because I don't know nothing. That's one thing I tell everybody. I don't know nothing. I can tell you what I learned, but I'm always willing to learn more. But for it's me being a man, me being in the leadership, nah.
Danny, you muted.
You muted. You muted. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Um, to Fiz's point, though, a lot of women say that's not what they want, but that's what they choose. A lot of women are healers and givers, and they look for projects. They look for broken men, and they look for boys, and that leave a lot of men out because. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like how I need a woman to raise me, I'm gonna raise her. I'm gonna elevate you. If you on my team, you gonna have to step up. Otherwise, you're not gonna make the. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make the cut. And they don't want that. They want somebody who, you know.
What it sounds like to me is what you're saying is you have immature people starting relationships with each other. That's what it sounds like you're talking about. Because the women that I interact with don't want to raise nobody. They don't want the drama. They want somebody who is already established at least at minimum, at the bare minimum. Yes, they can grow and build it with things, but for the most part, they don't want the project. They want to come in with the security.
But see
that's what I just said though. That's what they say they want. But look at the actions, not the words.
Right.
Yeah, but then again, that's what I said I think you're talking about immature people having immature relationships. I mean,
but it's not even immature women because you have women that's insecure. So you have
that's
women
right.
Oh, I just want a man. So they're gonna take any man that come their way, even if they a little boy or they a grown man. They just want a man, period. So you can have a lot of insecure women that say, well, I take that. That's it's better than nothing.
To me, I'm exclusive. I'm gonna ask you on this, but to me, that sounds like immaturity. If your insecurity is to gravitate towards child relationships, that sounds like emotional immaturity to me.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, you have a lot of women that it's not immaturity. Shout out to April. What's to say? We don't want difficult to deal with men with projects. Okay, it's cool. But I mean, a lot of men out here are projects. They are broken, and a lot of women feel like, oh, I could fix this person. A lot of them, like Danny said, like a lot of these women are like, oh, I want a man that I can fix up, mold, and he can be mine. But what happens when you fix that man up and mold that man? Then he leaves you and burn out and be a better man for another woman.
Mm-hmm. That was literally getting ready to be my comment. I think
in real life, I wrote that poem.
We had a conversation where I was talking about project people. And I just heard somebody touch on that. You gather a lot of people that become projects, your fixer-uppers. Sometimes it's a distraction. Sometimes it is that nurturer in you. Sometimes it's, I wonder or I'm curious as to what female, be it your mother, your sister, maybe something in your past that damaged you, that's now causing you to be for lack of a better term, an ain't shit nigga to the next woman. So I'm trying to fix you before you run into me out here in the street or run out into my daughter in the street. If I could do something with you from here to kind of counteract that, then I feel like I've contributed. On the flip side of that, I also agree with the fact that some women get these men because they do feel like, oh, he's 70-30. If I can get that 70 and then manipulate, and I don't mean manipulate
It's
in a
manipulating,
bad
but go ahead.
way. Yeah,
Just manipulate.
manipulate or reconstruct this individual with that other 30% to make him more custom fit. Shout out to Tailor Made, but to make them more custom fit for me, then I'll work with that 70% and I'll customize this 30%. Then I should get 100% of what I want. And I
Yeah,
You
think
know,
that
Queen.
I
we
This
call,
to
is
I
this is
that
call,
what
table.
I call bullshit.
what I think.
Mm-hmm.
The way I look at it is, women, they fall in love with potential, so they meet a man and expect him to grow. And you're right. They want to help direct that growth. But the thing is that we grow slowly. So we're turtles. We stay exactly who we are. And we expect y'all to stay the same, but y'all never stay the same. Y'all always grow. So we expect y'all to stay the same and y'all grow, and y'all expect us to change and we don't. I
Okay, so
mean, that's fundamentally who we are.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that. What I think it is women take these men that they consider projects or they see the potential because that man has the time available. I think
Right.
when man has the time available to give to them, they're like, oh, he's giving me all this attention, this time, and he's available for me. But then as soon as that man starts growing and his time is less available, then that's when the issues come out in the relationships.
And you know what though, Finn? The reason I would say that the flaw in that thought process is there are a million men that are chased by all the women. So you have a very small percentage that all women chase, and those guys don't have the time. They don't have. It's not the time.
What I'm saying
It's
is
what
the
women see in them.
No, what I'm telling you right now, it is go back and you could ask all your girlfriends at one point. The hardworking man gets cheated on by the dude who ain't got no job because he's available. When a man
Facts.
has the time, when a man has the time for the woman, she likes that because the attention is there and the time is there to be spent. If a man is providing and taking care of his business, he's at work most of his time,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
and
know.
then
No,
that's
no,
when the
that I agree with. I do agree with time and attention, but I'll tell you this: too much time, too much attention, too much availability makes you less attractive.
Exactly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
I'm not a person who wants somebody sitting up under me all the time. I just don't want to have to worry about where you at when you're not in my company. If we have that established, I don't
Well,
give a
I don't
shit
want
or
to.
how long you stay.
But you know what? I don't understand if a man out there providing, yeah, he's working long hours, but he's doing what he need to do to provide for his family. And for these women to feel like, oh, I'm not getting enough time. Like this, what you want time or you want me to pay these bills? Which one?
But you know what though? We TK, you and I speak English. We speak the same language. Women do not speak that language.
At all.
So
Lunch?
as a man
No,
that has been in relationships, how
no,
many times have
no.
you been in a conversation where she brought up fucking feelings and
Facts.
argue facts with feelings? And you
Facts.
couldn't even say shit. You had to be like, all right, your feelings are valid. I can't even argue that.
Right.
But I got facts. But her feelings,
Here's the
right?
I
Go
want
ahead,
my
Susan.
bills paid. But
Y'all not logical.
what I don't want is for you to come home and more exhausted from doing what you were doing in those streets that you have absolutely no energy for me. I don't want that. I don't want the remnant of or the leftover of you. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. If I could
Mm.
have balance, I would be okay. I
hold on.
understand you
Why is it?
trying to
I
help.
want to ask the fellas a question based on what she just said, but go ahead.
Yeah, I feel
Why?
like
Why?
we
Okay,
should
so
be on
if
the
I'm
level.
working if I'm working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, I'm not out in the streets. I'm working to provide. So because I come home tired and exhausted, that's just the time I'm spending trying to provide, take care of business. That's not out in the
Right.
street.
But when do you pay attention to home? Because other than that, why am I here?
Okay,
If
I
all you
can
do is
pay.
But you
eat
know what though,
food,
Queen?
Okay, I
You
got
know
if
hold
what
on,
all
though,
you
hold on,
Queen?
hold
eat
on, hold on, hold on. No, hold on. I got an anecdote for this. Early on, I think I was about 22 years old. I was working those crazy hours. I was working the
Uh,
12-hour shift, 7 days a week, and the girl that I was living with, she had a problem with it, and it became an issue. And one day she said, "It's either me or the job." So I quit the
Mm,
job. I quit the job. Okay, I'm here. I got the time for you. The first month. She had to pay all those bills by herself. She was, oh, you broke motherfucker. Why don't you go out and get a job? Never complained about how many hours I worked again because I was paying the bills.
mm.
Now, I was gonna say something similar to that, but yeah, you made that point.
Let's address the comment on the screen.
Man, I ain't got my glasses on. Then.
She said,
They said,
if you want feminine women, you got to deal with feelings. Think about it. Do you want a woman that thinks like a man? No, but I know women that do not let emotions cripple them. I know grown women that can think logically and do not let their feelings overpower the facts of the situation. I know because I feel. I'm a human being first. I have feelings, but it just because I'm in a shit mood doesn't mean I can take it out on everything around me. I am responsible for the way that I interact with people. And the moment that I let my emotions and my feelings take control of who I am and how I interact, it will be a problem for everyone. And so we want women to be held to the same accountability that us as men are held to when it comes to feelings and emotions, because we're all human.
Women want us to be held to the same accountability as they are. Um, when it comes to feelings, because they want us to be emotionally there and available. Because if we don't talk, if we
Who
don't
does?
share, it's a
Who does?
problem.
No, hold on. Who does? What relationship have you ever been in where you were emotionally mature and you were open and vulnerable with a woman and she didn't at some point turn it around and weaponize it against you?
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If we don't, if we don't, then we're it's a problem because we don't share enough. We don't talk enough. We don't open up enough. If we do, then at that point we're over talking, we're oversharing, we're trying to what's the word they call it,
Bitch.
mansplain
Why you
shit.
acting like a bitch?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, but in response to that comment, I respect what women bring to the table, and I understand it's a balance. So it's a certain shit that I could do that I don't do just because you know what I'm saying. I know I'm not gonna take advantage of the fact that you feel. You know what I'm saying? This shit I could say, or it's times that I can have like we're in an argument and you're trying to hit low, and I can hit lower than you because I'm a fucking poet. I'm better with words.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't because I understand you're an emotional creature. So when you hit me low below the belt, it don't hurt as much. But if I hit you below the belt, I know it's gonna hurt. But I don't do it because I know it's gonna hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's times that when we're in an argument, I'll say we're gonna shelf this because I can talk to you because I understand you think rational too, but not in the moment that you're emotional. Your emotions overweigh your rationality. So I'll wait until you're not emotional, and then we'll have a logical conversation about it. You get what I'm saying? So I appreciate what women bring, but it's a balance. It's just we're not the same creatures at all. We think emotional very little. Y'all think emotional a lot of times. And
but
y'all emotions outweigh y'all.
I feel like men think that emotion means you're weak or it's a handicap, and it's not that. I think women, as creators, again, as nurturers, as who we are, as people who, me, for instance, not only am I a writer or a creative minded person, I'm a Pisces. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? So I'm emotional by default. By spiritual assignment, I'm an intercessor. So I discern. Not only do I discern, I stand in the gap. I do all of that. That's just what I do as an individual, as a soul. When I get up in the morning, I'm looking for you to relate to me in an elaborate way, because I feel like I'm pouring into you in an elaborate way. I feel like if you lack the communication to explain, then you leave room for me to misinterpret and misunderstand. So you may get frustrated with me asking you to re explain something several times, but it's because I'm trying to get down to the meat the foundation, the orchestrated parts of what the hell are you saying? So I can then determine whether or not I even want to move that conversation forward. Do I want to flip out? Do I want to shelf it? Do I want to become emotionally distraught? Or whatever the case may be. But I feel like men feel like if we ask them to be more vulnerable, we're asking them to be more feminine, or we're asking them to be less of a man, when that's never the case. That's not even on
Okay.
the radar what we're
You
expecting.
know,
Can
Queen.
I
I think that
hold
that's not a weakness.
on?
Go ahead.
Can I? All right. So exclusive. I heard you bring this up on your first poetry after dark, and I wanted to touch on this eventually with you. So that men get beat down when they're vulnerable. Like when men open up to women, I'm not saying every woman does this, but I am using generalities because this is a complaint that you hear most men have with women. When I tell a woman my vulnerabilities or I open up to her, the next time she's angry, she throws it in my face. So it gets to the point where the emotional bullying is coming from the woman, and the man would rather not give her the ammo for that. So instead of giving her the ammo for the next fight, he's just like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the trauma that she's going to give to me because I can't punch her. See, I can go to my friends. I can call TK up and be like, man, this is how I'm feeling, and I can cry in front of him, and he can dap me up and tell, and I can be vulnerable with TK because it's not going to come back and be thrown in my face. And if it does, him can squab it out, you know. So
But we still,
it's the difference. It's when the women take the vulnerability and weaponize it against the men that the men just say it's not. And when we're talking about emotional maturity is knowing that when you're talking about, do I want to be emotionally distraught? No, you
mhm.
shouldn't let your emotions control how you interact with people, because there's some days I wake up and I just feel like swinging. I wake up and I want to swing on things, but if I do that, I'm end up in prison. And I'm not saying that women should be imprisoned for emotional abuse, but you got to understand that the emotional abuse is damaging.
Mhm.
The poem
Can
literally
I
said,
add into what you just said though?
yes, sir.
Um, Queen, what I was gonna say was I don't believe it's a weakness, it's a strength. Um, and a lot of men do have that side. However, society, history, are raising, especially this generation, our generation that's on the panel right now. This generation, see the younger generation, they were raised, they're gender fluid and more open and expressive, whatever. But in high school, for me, people called you a fag if you did certain shit. Point is, though, we were raised a little different, and so we weren't raised to like express that side. We were raised to kind of hold it back. We were raised, men didn't cry, men didn't do this. Now, what Finn just said, I have a homeboy, had a homeboy. He's I don't fuck with him no more. But I had a homeboy, and he was going through something, and he didn't really have to say it. I just understood because we men. You get what I'm saying? So like him calling me at 3 in the morning and asking me like, "Damn, dog, what you on, dog?" I'm like, "Yeah, you missing your girl right now. You're going through it, and I understand that. And you ain't even got to say it. Like you need me to come get you. You need to go hang out. You need to get your mind off that shit." Without him saying it. And so like we express it, just not in the same way that y'all express it. And it takes a long time though. What I think what Finn was trying to say though is it's a trust level. It takes a long time to be able to trust you with that side of us as well, because number one, we was raised not to show it, but number two, in times that we did show any kind of vulnerability, it's wolves out here. You know what I'm saying? You show a vulnerability around me, and I'm not your real friend, or you show a vulnerability about a woman, and you know what I'm saying? Like it comes back to haunt you. It's a trust factor that's built into that.
I don't disagree with that. To Finn first, I would say the poem goes self-control. I try to grab some every day when I wake up, but I just end up with two hands if I don't really give a fuck. That is what I get it. I get that. To you, Danny, I would say it goes both ways because I have been in an argument with a male who has said, "Oh, you broken, you damaged, you this, you that." Because of things that I have told him about my past or my upbringing or things that I may have experienced, trauma I hadn't healed from or even knew how to guide or direct in the area of healing. And so I think that it depends on the person. I don't think that it's so much all men or all women because men get pretty ratchet at the mouth too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not
Talking boys,
saying,
but I agree with you.
but what I'm saying, the difference is you don't often wake up a man's mad at you because of a dream he had. Like that's not a thing that really happens on the opposite sex. We don't see things in fantasy and then make it a real life problem. We don't bring the what ifs like, well, what if this thing that I just up in my head is I'm gonna start a fight about it. We don't take the impossibilities and then talk it into a fucking problem.
Right.
That's some women shit for real.
Right.
That's some real women shit. That's something like that's a whole. We could do a whole 3 shows, 3 podcasts on just that right there.
Yeah.
That's but I want to throw this in before I forget it. A pimp, a real life pimp, told my cousin this, and I've used this so many fucking times because I've tried to dissect it and disagree with it, but it just makes so much sense. By the way, if my phone died, I'm gonna hop back in later. But he said the best thing that two people can have is an understanding. What is your thought on that?
Perfect. Because you
Yeah.
can agree to agree or you can agree to disagree. But as long as I understand where you're coming from, doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And if you understand where I'm coming from, I at least know that you listen. So I can agree to agree or I can agree to disagree based on all the facts of my perception because my perception was my reality. So as long as you understand where I'm coming from, I can rock with that.
So I got a question too to follow up what you were saying, exclusive. When you said the men that got slick mouths, and sometimes it being you having reliving your past traumas that you haven't coped with or dealt with or learned to heal from. Um, like at what point is it the woman's or the man's, whoever's the one doing it, at what point the accountability on the person to heal themselves? Because I've been in a relationship where the damage lashed out like a wounded animal, like intentionally hurting people because they were hurting. And at what point is it, as a patient man, at what point is it where I'm like, look, man, you got to figure out how to get that under control because this is not going to be the rest of my life.
I agree with that though, Finn, because I wasn't healthy enough to be in any relationship before I was in the realization of that. So what I was doing is I was looking for maybe a band-aid. I'm not even sure. I was looking for someone to show me a more excellent way of what outside of what I was missing, I guess. So I would come and unpack everything. Hey, as a child I had it's been out.
Oh, he coming back in.
Okay, I don't want to not answer this question.
Well,
Either
before
way, because he can always run that back, I suppose, or I can re-answer. But I've gone into situationships where it's like the from mother. Everywhere I thought it was safe to unpack my moving truck, I ended up more mentally, physically, and even spiritually and emotionally fucked up. And it was because of that. I thought it was safe for me to unpack here. So I did that. I told you, hey, I have childhood trauma. Hey, I've been through this. Hey, I've had abuse over here or abuse over there. But then if I get in an argument with you, and you say, that's why that motherfucker knocked you upside your head, or that's why ba happened to you. I've literally got to tussling with a dude behind that because that was not the place or the time for you to interject that as a weapon. I didn't tell you that so that you can use that to re-trigger or to rehash that, because that was something that I told you in the strictest confidence. I thought I could trust you with something that emotionally deep. And maybe I couldn't. Maybe I was wrong. But the way that you positioned yourself, or the way that you talked, or under the perception that I thought that you were in my life, I exposed that to you. So that's why I say I feel like that can happen from a male or a female, because I've been on both sides of that. I've also been a person who was like, yeah, if you go low, I'm going lower. So yeah, nigga, bop, 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 bop. But I'm usually trying to catch up with somebody who has said something that ratchet. And now I just feel like the only way to counteract is to go that ratchet. But I would never, as an individual, start off with that, because I already know what it's like for someone to rehash your damaged area.
So, excuse me, what do you think about if someone never tell them about your abuse?
Then that's hard for me to do, because it is why I feel it is what built me. It is some of the things that make me think the way that I think towards intimacy. It is my perception of love, love tainted, love healthy. I can't teach you me without telling you where I've been. That's like asking somebody where they're going without telling them their history. What is their motivation to move forward if they don't know what they're going up there for, or where they came from?
I think that goes back to the point that I made about two people having understanding. Like, if I don't understand who you are and what you've been through, I'll never understand you as a person all the way around. I think that it's possible to have a connection, but it limits how close that connection can be.
Now, I will also say one thing that I have learned is that I have given up too much of my information too soon. And I literally was in a situationship with somebody where I told them all of my, because I just felt like, hey, I need you to make a decision on whether or not you want to stick and stay based off of where I am in my journey, where I'm at in my process. So I thought that I was giving them the option to stay, or flee. And it was maybe about a year later that this individual literally said, you know what? I just want to tell you something, but I don't want you to be mad. I said, yeah, go ahead. And he said, up until I loved you, I really never paid attention to shit that you ever told me,
Mm.
respectfully. He said, so all the time that you were yapping about you, your kids, your upbringing, your mom, dad, whatever. I mean, I heard you, but I didn't really hear you until I wanted to. When I wanted to invest and actually know who you were, when I wanted you to be a part of my life, is the first time I ever heard anything that you had to say.
Well,
And I was
let me
equally
say this.
pissed, and I could respect that.
Let me say this, like, even with me, I had a lot of women was telling me that, oh, you don't open up to me, you don't let me inside of your life, or you don't tell me about your past and stuff like that. And the thing is, the reason why I don't do, even my wife today, she's like, you don't let me in fully. And I'd be like, it's hard to, because when you in told so much people your life and stuff like that, and they use it against you, you're kind of like standoffish, like, I don't know how long we
Exactly.
gonna be doing this for me to tell you everything about me. Like, I just feel like people give up too much information to everybody they with. And I feel like, you giving too much of your information out. Like, you have all these people that you done talk to, all these people you done dated. They know all this stuff about you. And so a lot of people, they use that as ammunition. So, I'll be like, I don't know you like that. I don't know how long we're gonna be together. I don't know how. So there's certain things that I allow you to know, but there's a lot of things that I won't tell you.
And
I'm like
yeah, a
that
lot of that
now.
has exclusive. I think what TK said, a lot of that has to do with a lot of the stuff from my past I've healed from. I've grown from. There's no point bringing it up and talking about it anymore. It doesn't. It's not a big issue for me. So I just think that that's important to know that there's sometimes beating a dead horse can cause more of a problem.
I agree.
We're gonna go to the comment. We had somebody in the comment. They got something they put up.
I agree with that, April.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the comfortability, trusting, who you with and stuff like that. And like I also said, like you don't know how long you're gonna be with that person till that person show me the level of commitment that I'm looking for, that I wanted, that I need, that I desire. Then yeah, I will let you in. But if you're not showing me that level of commitment that I'm looking for, then no, why would I tell you everything about me? No, I give you a bits and parts that you should know. But as far as me telling you my deepest and darkest secret, how I've been hurt in the past, and this happened, no, we're gonna have to have some years on our belt.
Okay, so here's my next question. Let's segue into to another conversation. Well, not into another conversation, but off of that in general. At what point is that okay? Because what I also don't want is to be 2 years down the line with you and you say, oh yeah, I probably should have told you 2 years ago I was in a psychiatric ward for the first or for the last 4 to 6 years because blah 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 blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, partner. Why you didn't tell me this 6 years ago or 2 years ago? You know what I mean? So at what point do you start to exchange that information, and what information should be full disclosure? Because there are some things that if you tell me after I'm connected to you, now I feel like you held that from me, um, which withheld me making the decision on whether or not I even wanted to be in this thing with you 2 years. For instance, my ex-husband, may he rest in peace. Um, I didn't know that he had a second wife and 6 other children by 6 other women. That's something he decided not to tell me. I found out on my own. But had he told me that up front, I probably would have been like, bruh, that's a lot. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. I feel like there's a slight manipulation in withholding some information.
But I mean, that's different.
That is
right. So that's what I'm asking. What
okay.
information should be full disclosure off the dump, and what should you unload as time goes on?
Okay, so there's a big difference in saying I've got a whole second family and I don't feel seen as a valued human being in my workplace. Those are two different completely things. How
Okay.
the world perceives me and how I feel used and taken advantage of, those conversations are different than, oh, by the way, I just cheated on you and I hid that from you. That's called lying. Being deceptive, lying is different than being vulnerable. Right. So that's clarifying that initially. Like you, that is definitely
perfect.
See, there's a difference when if let's say like my mother passed away and someone like tell me about that, or how was your mother? I'm like, I really don't want to get into that. Now it's different when so if I have like $30 million, 30 million felonies, and I've been in prison for 20 years, and like there's some stuff I'm like, okay, that need to be speak about. But as far as vulnerability, what happened to you per se and stuff like that, I think you learning a person, then figure out if that person's gonna be there for you, can tell them your deepest, darkest secret. I don't think you having a second family is a secret. There's people out there that knows that you have a second family. So
yeah, like the wife and the kids, they know.
That part.
We're talking about information that nobody else knows, that you feel that you should hope, that you should guard. We're not talking about information that the world might know.
Okay, so we're going back where Miss April said, or kind of in that realm of don't tell them you're, or what you all are saying, don't tell them you're vulnerable
Mhm.
spots.
It
Expose yourself as a person, as
Right,
an individual with all
right.
truth, but don't give everybody your secret to what makes your hair long, or
Mm,
don't give everybody your kryptonite
mm.
recipe. Is that what you're saying?
Fact.
Yes, yes, and but then I have an add-on to that. So there would be something, and I'm address this to Miss April. Yes, you should play your cards close to your chest when you're dealing with new people until you get to know them, until
Mhm.
that trust has been there and you feel comfortable opening up to that person. But if it's something about insecurities that's making you combative in a relationship, again, that's almost like when it becomes an aggressive defensive mechanism and that you justify it. Well, I was hurt. I have trauma. That's why I can treat and talk to you like this. That's something you need to address. That's something, again, you have to be open about,
Mhm.
because now you're bringing conflict into the relationship that I don't know how to deal with or handle or resolve or empathize with, because you're not opening up about it. And the same goes back with a man. If a man is bringing conflict because of previous trauma, then that's something that either he has to heal from, or get therapy on, or bring it to the attention so y'all can work through it together. But I think that if that opening up and being vulnerable, and or not being vulnerable, is causing the conflict, I think it will hurt the relationship in general from either source, man or woman.
Um, Exclusive.
I don't, again, I don't disagree. My question was just simply because where it has left me moving forward after having that conversation is I literally wait now. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm withholding anything from you, but I now know from dealing from the male perspective, if he doesn't ask you, he doesn't want to know. Whether he doesn't want to know yet, or he's just not interested, or he doesn't want to connect with you on that deep. He doesn't even want to know you that deep. I literally wait to ask now, because now it shines the light on what level of relationship you do want to have with me. Whether it's a deep friendship, a connection, whether it's just a social, whether it's a fly by night, whether it's I want to marry you one day. I feel like now I have learned to hold my tongue until I'm at.
Okay, so I see a comment from Miss April. It says, "I can tell you my triggers without telling you the story." And I'm gonna say this, and this applies to both men and women. It is not other people's responsibility to handle your trauma. It is your responsibility. And your trigger, running water from the faucet, might be a trigger for you, but in our normal day-to-day lives, you're going to hear that. So it is your responsibility to learn how to cope with that. And you cannot always hold your personal triggers against the person you're in a relationship with. And so even by telling me, hey, uh, uh, loud car noises trigger me because I was in a car wreck, I don't know how to protect you from that. I mean, that's you're going, unless you just stay inside the rest of your life, you're going to have to learn to deal with that. So on the triggers, I think we give a lot of a lot a lot more people almost like a handicap, when it's your responsibility. It's not anybody else's responsibility but yours.
I mean, but you know what? You're right.
Please come back up. I don't know what happened. You were about to say something, and you went out. So come back on.
But yes, I think the main thing, the thing with being vulnerable, that I think uh that you were talking about, like, when is it? Why do you? I think you asked, do men feel like they're being feminized if they're being vulnerable? No,
Yes.
no, I
Okay.
don't, because I'm. You can ask any of my exes. I'm a very emotional person. And I express my emotions. It doesn't take away from my masculinity. I'm a human. We are emotional beings. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm emotionally mature. Um, I
But you
was
know what? though?
I wasn't always, but I know
After
how
you,
to I know how to express myself, and I know how to say the things that I want or don't want, or how things make me feel in a way. And I also know how to know that my feelings aren't justified. Sometimes I can feel insecure about something, but it doesn't have any basis in reality. And sometimes it's okay to feel things without letting it dictate how you interact with life around you.
but you know what? I got accused of not having feelings or not being vulnerable or not having emotions or anything like that. So I don't know. Like with me, I'll keep to myself. I look like I don't know. Like I'm always accused of not having feelings or not being vulnerable or not letting people in. So mm,
Well, yeah, I understand that, and there's certain things that it's just not worth bringing up. Like, I'm not saying that I open about make an issue or open up about everything. It's just there's certain things that I know if we don't talk about it or resolve it, it's going to continue being a problem. So I'm going to address it, and in me addressing that, I'm being vulnerable and telling you this is what's bothering me. This is why it's bothering me. This is how this makes me feel, or whatever. And so I am being vulnerable in that sense. And I'm not saying it has to apply to everything, but it does take mature communication on both parties for a relationship to work well.
So fellas, um, let me ask both of y'all a question. Um, what do you think are like? I'm not gonna hold you to one or two or three or whatever. I'm not gonna put a number on it. But what are some of the qualities that separate the women that we want to fuck from the women that we want to keep?
Yes, let's talk about it.
oh, can you repeat that? I got sidetracked.
All right. So I'm asking the fellas because I have a definite answer for this, but I'm asking the guys like, what separates the women that we want to fuck from the women that we want to keep? And I'm just asking for a few. I'm not putting a number on it. How many ever qualities you want to give?
Okay, I'll start. Like for women that I want to keep, integrity, loyalty, honesty. Uh, Females that I really don't want to keep, I really don't have no even standard. If I just want to hit you, I hit you, and that's it. Like, but far as women that I want to keep, and I say, okay, I see wifey material in this woman. It's like like I said, loyalty, integrity. Also how you cater to a man and stuff like that is very important to me.
And so for me, again, it would be similar to what TK said. It would be loyalty, it'd be integrity, and it'd be accountability. Uh,
Hmm.
a woman that holds herself accountable for her act stands out of the crowd, to where I could interact for a long time, because I hold myself to a higher accountability than I'll hold anybody else to. So I would want somebody that at least can acknowledge when they make mistakes and correct them.
Okay.
Nah. So I'm gonna give a what, two, maybe three, not all inclusive. Like there's more, but I'm gonna give some that I feel like are most important. Um, so Finn, I'm gonna throw this your way. You said you hold yourself to a higher standard, right?
Absolutely.
So there are obviously going to be things that you're going to be, um, let me say, trend setting on, or like you want to do that she doesn't see that vision. So this is one thing that I feel like a woman needs to, regardless if she sees your vision or not, fucking support me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things. Support me, regardless if you feel like whatever, blah blah blah. The second, um, I want to feel exclusive. I want to feel like you fuck with me different then you fuck with any other dude. I don't want everybody to have access to you,
Okay.
even if they.
No, okay, yeah. Accessibility is definitely a red flag. If a woman is accessible to anybody and everybody, then that's exactly what she is. Accessible to anybody and everybody.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. I want to feel like I'm different. Not I'm different because I started talking to you. I'm different because it's us. You know. Okay. I'm gonna give you one more. Well, that kind of goes to the accessibility thing. I would say, kind of like you said, the loyalty, not fucking around, not fucking with everybody, that kind of thing. But I do feel like the history doesn't matter as much as your future.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean that goes into again, respect. How the woman handles herself reflects on me. And that how I handle myself reflects on her. So
Okay, so
if she's out being disrespectful to me or being easily accessible to other men outside of my presence, that reflects negatively on me as well. If I'm doing the same with women, it reflects negatively on her. And
right.
so, without that respect, without acknowledging that the way that she acts out affects our relationship, then yeah, that's not something I'm dealing with.
So I'm gonna toss the third one out now. Now that I visualize how I'm gonna say it. Um, I'm not gonna even use the word submissive because that's a trigger word. But don't challenge my position as a. You know what I'm saying? Don't challenge my position. I don't want to have to fight the world
Right.
and then come home and fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to have to do that. I've had that before where I
Right.
had to fight and I had to check her at least once every week or two. And once I did, she a pussycat. She all mine. She catered to me. She loved me. But every week or two, now I got to put my foot on her neck again. I hate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to some women, it's reassurance of security.
How? How is causing conflict ensuring?
Not for me. But I'm just saying, for some women, they are attracted to. You know how you see people. It's no different than a woman that say, "Oh, he hit me because he loved me." It's really no different. It's their dysfunction.
Yeah.
It's an unhealthy agitation, because I need to make sure that you screaming at the top of your lungs that you love me, ba 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 ba, and this is where you want to be, and I get the adrenaline of hearing you in your most explosive ways. For some women, it's a turn on. For some women, it's fixing their insecurity. And again, it's not your responsibility. That's just where they're coming from in their insecurity.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you what I believe. Agree or disagree, but this is what I see. Um, as a just take the average attractive woman. Niggas been trying to fuck her since 14 ish.
Mm-hmm.
So her whole life, a million dudes is trying to fuck. Like if you do the math at like, you know what I'm saying? And some dudes is soft. Some dudes is like, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Still trying to fuck. Some dudes is like,
What they was like solid.
Yeah. Silent as fuck. Say, dark and mysterious in the corner. Getting that.
But I don't know. It's just like women, they need strong men to lead them. And I feel like a lot of,
say, so this is the thing though, right? They don't believe if you say you strong. They don't believe if they see you being strong. They have to test it because that's the only way they know for sure that you are who you say you are, is unless they test it themselves. Because you can say you strong, you can be strong out in front of your friend, but until they test it. But this is the problem. When they test it, they fucking forget again.
No,
They test it again.
So hold on. This is what I'm hearing. What you're saying is that you have somebody who doesn't know how to be in a relationship. Is what that sounds like. Because no. What I mean by that is if a woman wants me to lead and I'm in that position of leadership and I'm saying this is the direction we're going, but she's constantly trying to veer off into other directions. She's not looking for that leadership. And so it's up to me to say, do I want to continue having this issue, or do we just move on? Because we're not moving in the same direction anymore.
All right, let me put this in a different light. We got a single mama, right? A single mother who has tried and put her faith in the dude. Obviously, they had a kid that failed, and if she fails with you, if she put her in you, and you fail, you don't fail her. You fail her and her child. So all of this time, she had to be everything for both. So she has to make sure. This is subconscious. It's not what she's thinking, but this is what she's going through. So she has to check and test, because a million dudes have said and shown that, oh, I could be that guy. I'm going to step up. I'm going to take care of you. A million dudes have done this because niggas been trying to fuck since she was 14. So you got a million dudes like her whole life that haven't been what they said they was going to be. So it's in her nature to test you.
No.
What they don't get is once they test you and you pass, they still test you subconsciously.
Danny, this is what I'll say about that. I think that too many men mess with women who are not ready to be in relationships. Everything you just described is a woman who is not ready to be in a relationship. If she has made a bad decision and suffered the consequences that ended up being a single mother, and yes, it is. It's a consequence. You chose somebody who did not want to be your husband, and you had to you. That's a consequence of your actions, and so you have self-accountable to your actions. And moving forward, if you want a man to be that husband, you have to realize that you can't put the man as second fiddle in the house because you have somebody else's child.
Right.
The man's the head of the house. And so if you put the man like, my children always come first. Yeah, okay. So you're telling me that I will never be the head of my own house with you, then I'm not going to choose you.
Right.
Nah, you know what? And so check this out. Me personally, if I'm dealing with a woman, her children come first to both of us. You know what I'm saying? So I could be the head of the house because I understand that your children come first. Because it's not about me. I'm a fucking old ass man. It's not about me. It's not about pride. It's not about what I feel like should be right. It's about what's best.
No,
Danny, I think you misunderstood what I was saying. I think you misunderstood what I was saying. A man that's going to be a good husband is going to take care of his house. Obviously. Right. The children are going to have a roof over the head. The children are going to be fed. He is going to teach them. He is going to raise them in a way to be strong men and women. He is going to be there, loving, empathetic, supportive. That's obvious. What I'm saying is when the woman comes into a relationship saying that my children will always come first, I will never have a man ahead of my children. What you're saying is that at any moment you can be stepdaddy until I'm moving on, and then you're out of the picture. You see it happen over.
I get what you're saying, and like with that philosophy, I'm not fucking with you at all. If that's how you coming to me, but if say my children are first, once I gain that position of being first, I understand that the children, because as a man, we actually come last. As the head of the household, every decision goes through me, right? Every decision. And I'm serious about that shit. Everything goes through me. Don't shit move unless I say so. But I think of myself last. I put my ego last. I put my wants last and my needs last. If there is enough to eat for 4 people and there's 5 people in the house, I'm the motherfucker. I don't get the big piece of chicken unless I make enough to get everybody else some chicken.
Yeah,
this is how it goes.
Yeah, that's called responsibility. Yeah.
And so that, to me, when you say my kids come first, that's what I think of as kids come first. They come before us. Yes.
Okay. So, let me try to clarify now. Okay, for some things, yes, the kids come first. But far as you putting a man like your kids come before your man, no, because women have to understand. Okay, just say you get married to this man, y'all become husband and wife. Your husband come before your kids because at the end of the day, those kids gonna leave. And who's gonna be there to take care of you when you get older and sick? Them kids gonna have their own lives. So for a woman say, "Oh, I'm gonna put my kids before for any man," and stuff like that. Okay, you can do that, but are your kids gonna take care of you? Or when they 50, 100 miles away, they gonna fly in and take care of you when you sick at a drop of a dime? No, 9 out of 10, no, they won't. So, for a woman to say, "Oh yeah, I put my kids before any man," and stuff like that, it's some things, yeah, it's cool that you can do that, for food or taking care of, or like for me in my situation, I will buy the kids clothes, shoes before I even buy myself anything. I'll make sure they eat before I eat. I make sure they full before I'm full. So there's certain situations where yes, the kids come first. Before it's catering to your man, make sure your man is good. No, your man come before all that.
Nah. Okay, so let me kind of put that into what I was trying to say, so we all understand what we all saying is the same thing.
Okay.
I definitely gonna come first. I'm coming first regardless. Fuck everything else. Everything goes through me, but I put the kids first. Like you said, in those situations. Now, if it comes down to life or death, if it comes down to feeding, if it comes down to clothing, if it comes down to wants over needs, the kids are our responsibility, and they are our responsibilities first. Before I'm responsible for me, I'm responsible for them. Before I protect me, I protect them, and then her, and then me last. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm last in those situations. But please believe, I'm running this shit. You bow down to me. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. And I cannot deal with anybody who does not have that kind of understanding. Like, this is my household. I run the shit. It is what it is. And I'm not trying to be, like, I'm not trying to say she's subservient, because I started this whole shit off by saying how much I praise and appreciate women. But no, nigga, we run all of this shit. Dick run everything around here.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But a lot of women, I can't even hold you. A lot of women think otherwise. They feel like, they run shit. They give they give orders and shit like that. So, it's and the thing is, why a lot of women are like that? Because
they fuck with bitches. Go ahead.
Facts. They deal with men that that they have to listen to what a woman say, or they not. Let's say the woman is the breadwinner of the household, and he's not bringing in that much money. He's doing what he's supposed to do, so she's talking to him any type of way and stuff like that. So he really got to be down. Hold on, let me make this point. So he really got to bow down to her, because he really his options are limited. Before a man that handle his business, do what he's supposed to do, a woman can't talk to him like that. A woman can't handle him like that, because he stand firm in what he stand firm in. So but a lot of women deal with these beta males, and they try to come with an alpha male with the beta male. No, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, and see, I call them pack niggas versus leaders. But I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, Kenpo, I promise you, the last 3 women, and I don't look at when I meet somebody, it always has to be natural. It's not about looks, which I wish it could be. I wish I could, like, I've only dated one woman that was my actual type my whole life. So I don't date for looks. I don't date for money. I don't date for none of that other shit. It just has to be her. You gotta be, it gotta be you. You gotta, be able to play spades and like crack jokes, and we gotta be the homegrown thing. But the last 3 women just so happen to make way, way more than I make. Like, way more than I make. Like, the last one made the least, and her checks every other week was like $6,000 after taxes, 6 and some change after taxes every other week. So you figure 12,000 a month, times 12, and that was the least. Because the other one, this nigga told me she quit because they capped her at 120,000 a year. I was like, dude, You was 20 something and they capped you at 120. Anyway, point is, money has never been a determining factor in my relationships. It has never been a discussion. It has never made me feel some kind of way. Look, I don't care how much you make, how much you no.
That's
just because you make this much money don't mean you run shit.
That's because that's not your money. Typically when a woman is a breadwinner, it's her money. It's her money.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, you know what? This is the difference.
Let me finish.
It matters to them. It don't matter to us.
Danny, let me finish. When a man is a breadwinner, it's our money.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman is a breadwinner, it's her money.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically how it goes. Now, again, I'm speaking in generalities. There are always exceptions to this. But for the most part, what I see is men are concerned with how much money a woman makes because it doesn't concern him. It's not his money.
That's fact. That's big facts. But dig this though. Tell me what y'all think about. Tell me what y'all think about this, and I'm throwing this out, and I'm gonna wait and hear what y'all got to say.
Hold on. Okay. Let me address a comment. She said, Miss April, she said she made more money than her ex-husband, and she never made him bow down, but he did have to consider her opinions.
Well, you know what? As a leader, I'm going to consider your opinions anyway. When I say dick running shit, a bad leader does not listen to everybody else. A good leader listens to everything everybody got to say.
Right.
That's my job.
But why do he have to consider your opinions?
Because we have to. We have to, bro.
Listen, because I'm just leaving a comment when someone made a comment. She said she made the money, but her husband never bowed down to her. But he had to consider my opinions. Why do he have to consider? Because you made more money than him?
No,
that's the reason why.
He has to consider her opinion because that's just a respectful thing to do when you're dealing with an individual. If you don't respect their opinion or their advice or consider the way they feel about things
but let's be real. Women opinions be logical?
Huh?
Do women opinions be logical though? Do they think with logic? Because a lot of women don't think with logic.
But a lot of men don't think with logic either. But that's why you got to choose the right partner. So what I'm saying is if you're in a relationship that you're trying to grow and build together, you're going to take your partners or your significant others, however you want to say it. You're going to take their opinions into consideration because you might say, look, man, we're going to move to Japan tomorrow and we're going to be set. And then she's going to say, I don't want to fucking move to Japan. All my family's here. So you got to take things into consideration like that. And especially if contributing financially in stuff, then yes, she does have a say in what money is spent on, just like you would want to if you were contributing. So
TK, let me respond to that.
Look, I'm a king to
my fault. Go ahead.
I'm a king to my world. I'm a god in my world. So whatever I say, it is what it is.
Big facts. Big facts. So this is what I want to say. Let me say that. I'm gonna agree with you. Let's take that have to out and put it in should. Because really that's what it is. We should at least consider it. Right. We supposed to at least hear her out. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's my decision. And if it's a wrong decision, I don't even want to hear what the fuck you got to say about we made a mistake because I said I don't want to hear that shit. Right. At the end of the day, it's what I decide is what I decide. But as a fair leader,
no, I got to stop you on that.
As a fair leader, I'm gonna hear everything out and consider all positions. Wait, I'm gonna throw this last thing out. Last thing is, remember I was saying what women should be? What I would love to have is a fucking mirror. Somebody to tell me where I'm slipping, where I'm missing. That's what a woman's job is.
No, you can't do that. You just said you're a fair leader and then simultaneously said, but if I make a mistake, don't hold me accountable for it. That's not good leadership.
I didn't say I said don't hold me accountable. I didn't say that. I said don't sit there and nag me and talk shit.
You said if I make the wrong decision, I don't want to hear it from you telling me that I made the wrong decision. That
That's
is
facts.
literally saying, don't hold me accountable. What you're saying is, I do not want to suffer the consequences for my bad decisions, which is
No,
fucking
no,
absurd.
no, no. What I just said, okay, folks, hear me out. What I said is, if I make a decision based on all of the facts that surround us, and we going on that decision 100% together, and it doesn't work, we ain't looking back wondering why I said that you. No, we're not nagging and we're not talking shit. We're moving fucking forward.
No,
I don't
no,
want to hear shit. I want to hear shit about what I said that you should have. I don't care.
no.
I
That's
don't
not.
care.
But I mean, like with me, if I make a mistake, like I tell my wife, if I make a mistake, it's on me. I take that and I take whatever comes with it. You have to, if you make a mistake, you got to take whatever comes with it. So if it's the nagging or I told you so, or you should have did this, you should have that, you should never make that bad decision. So you got to take whatever that comes with you.
You got to take the
Nah,
consequences for it.
nah.
Because
I don't fuck around with the nagging and I told you so's.
No,
We don't look back. We not now. The best we could do is try to figure out where we went wrong at. How to fix it next time. We're not gonna sit here and stop and have a pity party. No, we're not doing it.
But you know, you have to take whatever comes with you. Like, okay, I messed up. I gotta take it. I got.
Oh no, I agree. If I fuck up, I fucked up. I apologize. I made a bad decision. We're not gonna dwell on it. We're gonna move forward.
hold on, this is coming exclusive. What do you have to say about that?
So I feel like the great prophetess Jill Scott said it best when she said, if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then you can't tell me what to do. And however you unpack that, I think that's one of the really most powerful short statements I've heard from a woman in a long time, because it means so many facets of so many things. On the flip side of that, I feel like everything is supposed to be equal. Since when do you come into a situationship and everybody, again, 70-30, everybody's got their finger on, are you make more? Is she gonna make? I've been, again, married, and he had the money, but I had the better credit. So, hey, you got the money all day long, but your credit couldn't qualify us to get into a secret prayer closet, much less a townhouse, or much less a home. Excuse me, my voice is.
I think a healthy relationship requires you complementing each other. I think that you both have strengths and you both have weaknesses, and they should be able to. Yes, the woman should be able to take up some of the slack off a man if he's overburdened, and the man should do the same for a woman if she's overburdened.
And
I agree with that 100%. But I have a thing for you, Danny. Danny, I got a comment out here that's saying, "Why you being such a fucking hypocrite, Danny?"
Nah, anybody who thinks I'm a hypocrite don't understand what I'm saying, and I'll gladly explain it because I'm good with words.
Because if a woman did something that you didn't like, Danny, you would be all on her ass talking about, woman, you better get in line. You better get in the shit and get your shit together. You know what I'm talking about? So why are you being a hypocrite? Why can't you hold yourself accountable, and yet you want all these women to hold themselves accountable? Talk about it, Danny.
Let's talk about it. Talk to him. Oh, he quiet.
Real quiet. Too quiet.
But you know what? I look at it like this, like a basketball team.
Y'all hear me?
Hold on, no, we couldn't hear you. But
y'all can't hear me.
Let me get this out real quick. Let me get this example out real quick. So it's like a basketball team. You have your star player, then you have your number 2 guy. So yes, the number 1 guy, he scored 30 points, and the number 2 guy scores, said person say he scored 20 points. Now, yeah, he scored 30 points. The starting team scored 30 points, but without that 20 points, y'all probably never would have win. So it's all about, it's not about, okay, if I make the most money, I got to say so. It's about teamwork. People forget about, the team aspect of relationships. It's not about who made more money or who contribute more or this and this. It's about, okay, can we win together as a team?
Yeah, because the Bulls won with Rodman. Rodman ain't put up no points, but boy, was he on defense. He was taking up the flag and running that court. So, yeah, it's it's definitely teamwork, and like I said, it's definitely being taken up. If I'm out there making the money, or if she's out there making the money, somebody's got to clean the house. Somebody's got to feed the kids. Somebody's got to do this. So I mean, you take up the slack from where the other person needs the help. You work together, and you build that foundation to where I know if I'm out, if I'm sick for 2 weeks, I know she gonna hold it down for me. And then the same, if she's out, she knows I'm gonna hold it down for her.
All right, so can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead. You got the flow.
I want to address this comment about me being a hypocrite. I'm very well spoken, right? And so, like, I love these kind of conversations because understanding is the best thing two people can have between each other. So, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So, what Fan just said was great because it was a great lead in. The Queen was saying earlier about 50-50. I don't believe in 50-50. I don't believe in 70-30. I believe personally,
She said 70.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't believe in 70-30 or 50-50. Personally, I believe 100-100. You give your 100%, they give their 100%, right? And so I feel like I give my all, you give your all. However, this is where the mistakes come in, where I can't deal with certain fucking mistakes. When we're talking elementary shit, you know what I'm saying? Like if I have to go back to the beginning, so like let's say we're in high school, we're talking math, English, science, socials, all of these different classes. I may be great in like 3 of the 5 classes. You may be great in 3 of the 5 classes. That don't mean when we both go to math, we both gonna get A's. So if you're better at math, as a leader, you hold the math down. But if we're talking like elementary school shit,
that ain't the comment, Danny. Stop avoiding the comment.
No. This is the comment was about mistakes and about flaws. And so
the comment was, why are you such a hypocrite and telling her I don't want her to nag me when I make a mistake, but I will tell her about her mistakes. You will call her out on her mistakes and throw it in her face, but you don't want to hear nothing. You want to hear crickets.
No, did I not say mirror? Wait, did I not? My fault. I misunderstood the comment then. But did I not say mirror? I need a mirror. I need my woman to tell me where I'm wrong. I need her to tell me where I'm fucking up. What I said was I don't want after the fact. Oh shit, that was wrong, and I apologize. I was wrong. My bad. But we're not gonna dwell on that. We're gonna move forward. That's what I said. We're not going to stop and talk about what I should have did and what I didn't do that time. If I have a habit of making mistakes as a leader, I'm not a good leader.
GK,
but if I make a mistake, every time I make a mistake, we're not going to stop and dwell on that shit. That's not what we're going to do.
No, I agree that you have to move on. If you want the relationship to continue, you have to forgive and you have to understand and you have to move forward, definitely. But that is not what initially what you said was, if I make the wrong choice, I don't want to hear no shit about it, is what you said.
I don't.
So then again that contradicts what you're saying now about you want to mirror. She has to be able to tell you this is where you make
no. If so, when I say mirror, this is exactly what I'm saying. I love these conversations. So the mirror is you're about to make a mistake, or you're making a mistake currently. Not you made a mistake in the past tense. I can see those. I can look behind me. I got a rearview mirror like a motherfucker. I need a mirror to tell me what I'm fucking up right now, or what I'm about to do that's fucking up. And if you tell me that doesn't mean I'm gonna make that change, it just means that noted. I appreciate it.
So I got a question. What if she, like, say she took $30,000 out the bank account and she lost the money? How long will you nag her about her losing $30,000?
That depends. No. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it depends on. It depends on what the thought process was when she was doing it, and if we discussed it before or after. So if she did not discuss it, that's a problem for me. Like, dude, don't make that problem in the future. Like we got to make sure we understand that. But it's not a nag. It's more so of a let's get this understanding together, moving forward.
She ain't need to discuss it with you. Her little brother was gonna flip that 30. You were gonna get back
Nah,
60.
we ain't making no dope flips.
It's a guarantee. Her little brother said he got that
We ain't
plug.
making no dope flips. We ain't making no dope flips, bro.
But I'm just saying, you said it depends, but when you said it, you're like, oh, I don't want to hear nothing about it.
No, that's what I'm saying, because I don't make those kind of decisions. So if I make a bad decision, you understand what we're doing. We discussed this before going in. So if I do something dumb, of course I'm gonna hear something about it. But I don't do dumb shit. I don't do dumb shit. So if you do something, you're gonna hear like, dude, like, why did you make the decision without consulting me? Or what was you thinking when you made this decision? But if you make the decision and it's solid, even if I didn't agree with it, I'm like, damn, you fucked up. But that's all you're gonna hear. If you make the decision and it's a good decision, I'm like, damn, it could have went better. But yeah.
I would say like this, in that situation, TK, if we were in the relationship and a woman took a substantial amount of money and made a decision without consulting me, I'd be upset about it, whether it was a good decision or not. The fact that she didn't consult me about it, I'd be upset. But I also wouldn't take a substantial amount of our household money and make a decision without running it by her either. I think that's just a mutual respect.
But I mean, I took it to the extreme, but what he was saying, like, if he mess up, don't call me out on it. But but they mess up,
that's what them comments talking about. Them comments on your ass, Danny. They on your ass.
And no, I'm ready for all the smoke, and I'll explain every word that I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when I make that kind of decision, we've discussed it, and I've heard everything that you had to say, and I still made a decision. Whether you agree with it or not, go with me 100%. And if it's the wrong decision, I don't want to hear I told you so. But if it's the right decision, I'm not finna put it in your face either. I'm not finna turn around and be like, bitch, I said it, blah, blah. I'm not finna do that. We win together, we lose together. It's a learning process.
Okay, I can dig that.
So how many of those mistakes do you get before you're like, yeah, I can see why she's leaving? Like how many of those mistakes can you make before you're like, yeah, I'm fucking up too often here?
You know what, Tiff? I don't know, because I don't make the many mistakes like that. But this is what I'm saying. Like 100% agree with, if I'm making many mistakes, the decision making needs to be taken out of my hand. Like, I shouldn't be making them decisions if I'm fucking up. That's the way it is. Like, for example, I hated this relationship, but I hated this part of it, but my ex put me on a fucking budget. This bitch gave me an allowance, but she was so good with money, and I'm good with money. I love numbers, but she was better. As a leader, I had to make that decision. Like, you're in charge of the money, and this motherfucker put me on a fucking, not a punishment, but she put me on an allowance.
You had an allowance. That's sweet. That's what you mean when you're talking about these women raising you, right?
Nah, whatever. You an asshole. I like you. You an asshole like me.
Hey, the comment says you all over the place. You don't know what you're thinking.
Man.
No, I know exactly what I think, but I'm not all 100% one or 100% nothing else. Like, everything has to be in a certain place. Just because I said I leave the house does not mean that I have to make all the decisions. Now, I do make the decisions, but I give her the permission to control it. Look, you're better with money. You make the decision.
But she also made the money. Hold on. She also made the money, did she not?
No, not in this situation. No, I made more money than her.
Okay. All right.
That motherfucker still put me on a fucking allowance.
Well, hold on. Exclusive. Go ahead. You had something to say, Exclusive?
Yes, thank you. I have been in that predicament before where my spouse said to me, I'm not good with money. I'm going to tell you that off the dump. So I would like for you to show me how you budget, or I would like for you to show me how you maintain what you're maintaining. Once we sat down together and he was actually able to see how I write certain things down in a calendar or due dates or things of that nature squared away, then he did trust me to take uh the when he got paid here, do what you got to do, and then whatever we got left, just let me know how much of that I got to blow. And I was like, okay, cool beans. I didn't do it with the intention of making him feel emasculate, not
Well,
masculine.
he asked you for that help, right?
Yeah, right. He did ask for that help.
So I mean, that's him reaching out and saying, like, I see you have a strength in this. Could you help me because I see that you have strengths that I have weakness in. So that, I mean, that's not emasculating. That's acknowledging that you have something to offer him
Right.
that he couldn't do by himself. So that's him showing you respect.
Yeah, okay. And I
So,
agree with
so I got to ask this though.
that.
What was the allowance that you budgeted for his weekly strip club visit?
It was never the well, I don't know where you were going with it, but literally I would say, all right, these if we got $20, right? Okay,
Yeah,
$15
that's one
cover
song.
just to make it real basic. We got $5 to blow. You want to do 250 and 250 and we both blow 250 each, or do you want to do $1 and $1 and we take the other $1.50 and put it to going on a trip? That's where my that was. So you have the option, but if you blow your whole $2.50 and then you look up and I say, "Hey, Tata, I'm gonna be in Vegas next week with the girls," don't poke your lip out because you could have saved your little Tata and went, but you didn't do that. You blew your money.
But someone said, if she gave him allowance, that means she didn't trust him.
God damn.
No, no, you know
Ooh,
what?
God damn.
No, she had an allowance. I had an allowance, and it was what it was. Now we both went out of our allowances at times, but we both had an amount we were supposed to spend per week, and that's what it was. And I'm good with money. Like when I say I'm good, I know numbers, but she was just better with money,
Danny,
and so
can
she gave me a fucking allowance, and she had an allowance, and that's what it was.
what else, Danny? What else did she allow you to do?
oh no. I,
You see what he just did. You see how he tried to poke at my manhood like that.
hey
That
Danny,
that's the ego.
say,
That's the ego shit.
look, if you want to adopt a broke best friend, I volunteer as tribute. I just can't give a huge response because I ain't in that headspace right now. But if you just want somebody that just look, I'm your guy. You want to break bread? You want me to put you on allowance? I got you, my guy.
Nah. She. The reason it happened was like I said. She was better with money than me, and I recognized her strengths, and I appreciated her for what she brought to the table. It was what it was. Now that's the only situation that I've ever had a woman control the money because she was simply better than me.
So, like being said, what else did she control?
The money.
What else?
My man's like that.
That's
Don't do.
that's
In
a great.
that
That's a great
situation,
thing.
no. In that
TK, there's not
situation,
much
she
else.
controlled the finances. She paid the bills. She took the checks. She put away what we needed to put away to save, what we agreed on, and she gave both of us an allowance. She had an allowance. I had an allowance. I fucked the allowance up sometimes and dipped into our stash sometimes. So like what you just said, TK. Sometimes motherfucker will dip into the money,
Yeah.
but it was an understanding like this is your allowance. This is what you're supposed to spend.
Okay. But you know what though? It's getting close to that 2 hour mark. We've been on here for 2 hours, man. I want enough time for y'all to introduce yourself to the fans out there and let them know what you do and what you're about. Then we gonna end with a poem, and y'all can catch us next Sunday on this poetry talk. So we're gonna start with the exclusive. Go ahead, Shorty. It's on you.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Exclusive. I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather, but I say my name is Exclusive. I keep it 100 because anything less would be somebody else. Shout out to Poetry Life. Shout out to TK the Poet and all of everybody that's on the panel. I am your host for Poetry After Dark, which is going to be on every Friday at 9 p.m. We're going to slide it up a half an hour so that people like Finn can get there before his bed.
Oh,
All
definitely.
social media platforms, either under exclusive or exclusive reign. Definitely come out, support, give your love, give your all, give your conversation, give your opinion. You know what I'm saying? We love to have fun with the people.
Okay, okay. Exclusive. Then we're gonna go with microphone McFan. Go ahead and give
Um,
your handle out.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip mine. I want to ask a question. Um, I've met recently a lot of women who made good money who said it didn't make no sense to get married because they were already rich. Thoughts?
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
a
We
whole
gonna
nother
have
topic.
one
I'll
gonna
on
have
say
to
next
wait
week.
until next Sunday.
a dollar,
Ah, damn, I tried though. I did try, y'all.
a dollar don't have no dick, so that can't be all for me. But carry on.
Yeah.
That didn't mean they didn't want no man. They didn't mean
Put
they want no
put a,
company. That just mean they didn't want no husband.
put a pin in that until next week. We'll come back to that one.
Facts. That's all I got then. I'm microphone fan.
All right, Finn, it's on you.
And the human, just out here doing my humanist. Uh, y'all, we appreciate all the support everybody's doing, tuning in. Exclusive doing Poetry After Dark. It's a real dope show. Make sure y'all check in on Fridays. We got the Real Talk on Sundays, which is what y'all watch now, and I think this is dope. And then I think we have a couple more shows starting up with TK doing some battle rap stuff coming up, and Beautifully Nana's Beautifully Us podcast as well. So tune in, man. There's some merch out there, shirts and stuff. Support the brand. It helps us to keep being able to do this. We appreciate the platform TK exclusive. You look great, by the way. Um, Danny McFan. I like
Yes,
picking on you. You're funny. I appreciate it. And y'all have a great week.
All right. So, microphone McFan, you know, um, the one we was, targeting that. I'm gonna let you end with a poem. Do you mind to end a poem? Because that's what we do at Poetry Life on Sunday. We end with a poem.
Who ended with a ball? Me?
Yeah.
Ah, well, let me think. Since since we've been talking about relationships, I ain't doing this shit in forever. So I looked in the mirror one day and I asked myself, if I was somebody else, would I date myself? Would I love me hard or break my heart and hate myself? Lie deep with scandalous freaks behind my back. Make eye contact with females when I wasn't looking. Stop dressing nice and cooking. The shit that I had to do to trick me into fuck with myself in the first place. Would I make me feel like I was in this relationship for my health? I could do bad all by myself, and I ain't afraid to break up with me and be alone. Would I be the type to start nagging when I come home because I don't take?
Think it went out for a little bit. Well, it kind of went out for a little bit. I don't know if you can hear. I'm gonna bring you up a little bit. I think it went out. So we're gonna end with this. Hey, we'll be back. Poetry After Dark this Friday. Monday we have. I think I don't we start this Monday. I think we can start this one. It's 10 for your cap, where we talk about politics, religion, I like a little bit of everything. People that really don't want to talk about, we're gonna talk about it on Monday. We tin for your cap. So shout out for that. Then Wednesday, I'm gonna start back up beautifully. Us talking about empower women, what women go through and stuff like that. So I hope y'all stay tuned to that. And Friday is Poetry After Dark, and Sunday y'all already know what it is. It's Real Talk with the Poet. So since McMahon kind of string kind of went down on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and end with a poem. Let me see which one I'm gonna give y'all. I think since y'all probably heard a lot of my poetry since I've been doing this live, so I'm gonna end it with this. Headshot, bow. Another black man goes down by the hands of the KKK disguised as the police. See, the killings and controllers to make us weak. They even taking over our families by executing a black man so a young black man can grow up without a representation of a black man. So they can push their white agenda so we want to oppose them. See, I say sink or swim, fight until we break all limbs because they're not going to start shooting until they feel like they're done. Well, if they want to live by the gun, I'll make sure they die by one. You can't fight fire with fire. Way by the water. Until we drown them out. Kill one of us, we need to fire back at the whole family. Empathy? No, I'm trying to make you amputee. Understand there's going to be some casualties, but we have to do way more than put George Floyd on a casualty. And I know it sounds messed up, but we've been for both. They've been killing us for 500 years. They want to point the gun and fire. So now they're going to get all the smoke. They went from killing us from ropes. The lock us up with no hope to instill us to be broke. Then once we get a little money, and think it makes us one of them. See, I say sink or swim, get down or lay down, because we'll never be one of them. We're Israel. We are chosen. That's why they hate us, because they not us. The Most High love us. That's why they hate us. We was in our own land until they stole us. Then they brought us here and tell us that they gonna give us justice. Nah. See, they lock us up and they kill us, so they justice them for just us. And it's crazy how we can't spend money with each other without trying to get over each other. Listen, y'all, my beautiful sisters and brothers, support the brother and not the other, because when we gain control of the narrative, but first, we have to understand our heritage. And yes, black lives do matter, but it gotta matter us first. But first, we gotta break the curse, stop the hurt, because too many of our people are laying in the dirt. So stop letting them whittle lynch us into a mentality to lead us into fatality. But honestly, we way more powerful than we know. But they know. What you already know, so you ain't got to quote it. And if I spoke it, you already know what that means.